Scientists recently set the doomsday clock closer to midnight, saying that humanity is the closest it has ever been to Armageddon. Increasing threats of nuclear war, disease, and climate volatility are putting humanity at greater risk of annihilation than ever before. The doomsday clock, created by the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists to illustrate how close humanity has come to the end of the world, moved its time in 2023 to 90 seconds to midnight, 10 seconds closer than it had been for the past 3 years. Almost 2,000 years ago, the Apostle John wrote, "Dear children, this is the last hour, and as you have heard that the Antichrist is coming. Even now many Antichrists have come. This is how we know it is the last hour." The Bible teaches Christ will return at the time of the end of the world. Jesus himself taught and warned us of the signs that would precede his return, signs that we should watch out for and be alert so we would not be caught unawares like a man who was visited by a thief in the night. In today's 7 Minutes of Bible Truth, the Reverend Sean Michael Carter shares some basic biblical teaching on this topic, and the signs to watch out for before Jesus returns.
John wrote 2,000 years ago, almost, that the world's last hour was upon us. In the Bible, the last days started on the day of Pentecost. We have been in the last days as the Christian church since that day. When Christians refer to the end times, a phrase not actually found in the Bible, quite often they're referring to the last of the last days. Some Christians say we must be prepared at any moment in case Jesus comes like a thief in the night. Yes, we must always be prepared to meet Christ, whether he returns or whether we leave this earth to go to be into his presence. But actually, when the Bible talks about the return of Jesus, him coming back to this earth, the New Testament only says that it will be like a thief in the night for some, that it will catch some peoples unawares, but not all peoples, not the people of God who are waiting, watching, and aware of the signs of the times they are living in. And the New Testament teaches that there are 4 signs that will happen before Jesus returns. The first are the signs in the world, where we hear and see of wars and hear of rumors of wars. There'll be earthquakes, there'll be famines, there will be great natural disasters. And in the midst of these calamities, people will be living just like they did in the days of Noah, eating, drinking, marrying, getting on with their lives. And as in the days of Noah, they were completely unaware of the bigger events unfolding around them. And so that when the flood came, they were caught unawares, and many people will be caught unawares when Jesus Christ does eventually return. But not we as his people. The second sign Jesus talked about was there will be signs in the church. Many false prophets or false Christs would appear, and they would deceive many people. A false prophet is one who gives a false message about God. We certainly see that in the Christian churches today. Many churches now are condoning and sanctifying and blessing practices that the Bible clearly says are sinful. Many people have deserted the Christian faith, but they were never part of us, the Apostle John says. So there's signs in the world, signs in the church. These two are being fulfilled right now. But there's 2 other signs that the Bible talks about that have not yet been fulfilled. And the third is there will arise in the Middle East a dictator. The one the apostle calls the Antichrist, as he says here in his letter. He says many Antichrists have come, but there is one who is coming. We need to watch what is happening in the Middle East. The founding of the nation state of Israel on May the 14th, 1948, when it was refounded, when God brought the Jewish people back to their ancestral homeland, was a prophetic event. And one day, a dictator, Antichrist, will come, and he will come for the Middle East. That will be the third sign. The fourth sign before Jesus returns, he himself said that the sun will not give its light, neither will the moon. Now there's many possible scenarios what could cause that. A volcano, such as when Krakatoa went off a long time ago. A volcano could cause the sun and the moon to be blackened out. There could be natural phenomena or nuclear war and other things that could cause the sun and the moon to no longer give its light. And Jesus said that the heavenly bodies will fall from the heavens. There will be a great cataclysmic event when the earth will be blackened in darkness. And then it will be at that moment, Jesus said, that the Son of Man will appear like a sheet of lightning going across the world. Every eye will see him when he returns. And we know through the invention of technology of television how it's possible for an event like that to be broadcast around the world in mere seconds. And when Jesus comes back, he will be coming back to Israel. And so, my friends, the Bible teaches that this is the last hour. If the Apostle John could write that almost 2,000 years ago, we are certainly a lot closer now. And so watch out for those four signs. Signs in the world, signs in the church, signs in the Middle East, and signs in the heavens. Because that is how we can interpret that Jesus will return and not be caught out like the man whose house was burgled and it came totally unexpectedly like a thief in the night. And Jesus taught many parables that we should be watching and waiting and aware. God bless you.